Let's talk about Japan, the country that's given us bullet trains, sushi and Mario, but lately not much in economic fireworks. For over 30 years, Japan's economy has been stuck in slow motion. It all started in the early 1990s. Japan's asset bubble, think sky-high real estate and stock prices, burst in spectacular fashion. The Nikkei stock index lost more than half its value practically overnight, and banks were left drowning in bad loans. This wasn't just a bad year. It triggered what's now called the lost decades. Since then, Japan's GDP has barely budged. To put it in perspective, between 2000 and 2019, Japan's economy grew less than 0.25% per year. Meanwhile, South Korea, remember it also faced a financial crisis in the late 90s, rebounded fast, invested in tech and grew 5 times as much as Japan. Even California's economy just leapfrogged Japan's, making Japan now the 5th largest in the world. So, what's holding Japan back? Let's break it down. First up, demographics. Japan's population is shrinking and aging. Nearly a third of Japanese are over 65 and fewer babies are being born. That means fewer workers, more retirees, and a huge strain on pensions and healthcare. If Japan's workforce had just stayed at its 90s peak, its GDP would be 20% higher today. Imagine that. Second, there's a problem with so-called zombie firms. After the bubble burst, the government and banks kept struggling companies alive with cheap loans instead of letting them fail. Now, nearly a third of all firms are zombies, unproductive, draining resources, and blocking new, innovative businesses from growing. Third, Japan's policies haven't really fixed the core issues. The government spent huge amounts on infrastructure, and the central bank cut interest rates to zero. There was even Abenomics, a strategy packed with bold promises, but it mostly avoided tough reforms, especially on immigration and labor. And then there's culture. Many companies are risk-averse, slow to change, and favor seniority over fresh ideas. While Japan still leads in manufacturing, it lags in the digital economy and innovation. Compare that to South Korea, which overhauled its economy, embraced younger talent, and stayed nimble. But here's the twist. Despite the sluggish economy, life in Japan is still pretty sweet. Housing is affordable, the streets are safe, and social trust is high. So, while Japan may be stuck in a slow lane, it hasn't lost what makes it special. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Japan's economic story, don't forget to follow our channel for more insights on global economics. Stay curious and keep exploring the world's most interesting facts right here every week.